All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Takoyaki Party. I think this is episode 36. I'm joined by Matt.
Hey, what's good? It's Matt, as famous from Showroom.
And whoa, okay.
Yeah.
And then we have Ryan.
Hi, it's Ryan, and I'm not famous in Showroom.
But soon.
How many towers did you get, Matt?
I'm considered like unprofessional, so I don't get towers. Like I don't get like these little seeds. I don't get the stars. I get the little seeds.
Right,
So they throw their seeds at me. Yeah.
All your fans have inserted their seed into you.
Oh, I remember this when they first started Showroom. Like members like had no idea how to do it. I remember like apparently like Rinachi started streaming as an amateur, so she was. I heard like she did like 30 minutes as an amateur before someone told her that she had to log into her like actual account because she didn't know how to use it.
I tried to like sign up like my payment options. Like it wouldn't accept my name. Like I tried to enter it in English, tried to enter it like in katakana, hiragana, made some bullshit like kanji name. None of it like you enter your name. I'm like I did. So I don't know. Showroom's fucked. I don't do it because the idol I follow at the moment doesn't do showrooms, so we're filling the void by doing our own showrooms. So I'm playing video games.
The idol that you don't follow.
Yeah.
Or the idol that you follow doesn't do showroom.
Anymore.
What?
The idols.
She went on.
Plural, right? The plural? We're talking about NMB, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, NMB is known for not doing
that's
Showroom.
true too, because Sayaka doesn't do it anyway. Yeah.
Okay. So before we get into the news, we got to update our privacy policy.
All right.
Oh man, did everyone get all those emails?
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I signed up for this website.
I don't even use LiveJournal anymore. I still got
Shanga, Matt, Shanga.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of scary though. Like you may not use LiveJournal, but they got data on you.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to like quit all those like stupid things that you signed up for like 10 years ago.
Also, it's good because sometimes you get happy birthday notifications.
Yeah.
Like, none of your friends will say it if you don't put it on Facebook. But, oh man, LiveJournal, happy birthday from LiveJournal? Like, yeah, alright. Happy birthday from Zenga? Okay.
MySpace.
Okay, let's get into the news. We have a couple like quick announcements. First of all, NMB Mobile is now on an app on iTunes and Play Store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't need like a
So
Japanese
now-
phone to use it.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity for everyone. Even if you don't live in Japan and you want Momame, you can just get it from the app.
Yeah, because now you can pay through
Credit card or
services.
iTunes cards or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not region locked. It's language locked, but you know, nothing to do about that.
Well, at least you don't have to pay some dude that like lives in Japan like, a lot of money for like some text. And, just, like,
Yeah,
6
yeah.
months at a time.
Yeah, you don't need Japanese phone anymore. So
Yeah.
it's a good deal.
So for some of you that can't read Japanese, like you get pictures, right? Or you get photos?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the member, but obviously, like it would be really, really pointless for them to not send photos. So,
Do they do more stuff now that they have the app? Because I remember like one of my friends showing me like the Kiyaki Zaka one. He was like, "Hey Joe, can you translate this?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And then they would leave like voicemail and stuff.
no, it's completely different. So how Nogizaka does it is that they don't actually have like mobile mail. They don't call it mobile mail. It's very similar to like Line or like WhatsApp or whatever people use.
Okay.
So that's how they sell it, as more casual than mail. But with AKB, the idea is still mail.
Okay, gotcha. So you can check that out if you like it. Next, if you're interested in theater, we have the D3 girls now do back dancing for Kata Omoi no Taikakusen. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in D3, you can and stages, you can watch those. Do you know if they do that stupid transition part in the B2 stage?
Yes, they still do that. D3 girls are now... So there was a time when like there was no D3 girls and then everyone was promoted, and it was really weird because you got like actual members doing like random back dancing basically. So you get like Renapyon or like Yukitsun like in between songs. So it's when the B2 members go off to change clothes, right? Then you get like 4 members like just like dancing randomly.
It's so like with the music playing in the background and like the dance. The dance is so like stupid looking. Like oh man, it's so funny. I don't know. It's not supposed to be funny, but I find it.
And the outfit too, like it's clearly designed for like younger members, right? It's like silver and then whatever, and it's really weird to see like full members like Renapion wearing that.
Yeah, or Shion.
Yeah, Shion, Yuzu, all those girls.
Okay, last piece of news, which is they announced 6th Gen. Matt, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so this was announced like a handshake event, and basically it's a big surprise to everyone because they just like accepted like what 20-something 3rd gen draftees, right?
15.
Right? 15. Basically a whole nother generation, right? So then that's, we're gonna do 6th gen, and that's just like, why? It's like bad timing. And the joke I made, that's like the opposite group of good timing. With the 5th gen members.
That's terrible, Matt. Like, but it's
terrible timing.
Yeah.
terrible timing. That's 7th gen. They announced like a week after 6th gen gets accepted or something. Yeah.
No, they made like a really big deal out of it, and like, we have a big announcement. They called in some like reporters and stuff like that, and they dragged out Sayaka.
They got CNN and HK and all that.
Yeah.
They got the
Fox News.
They got the news agency from North Korea.
Yeah, and then so they announced there was this big announcement. They even live streamed it. I think you guys watched, right?
No.
No?
Of course not.
Yeah.
I think it was like locked behind like Osaka Channel or something, so it was like I didn't want to.
No, it was on Showroom and YouTube Live. Anyways, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But like they even live streamed it, so people were like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be a big announcement." And then, 6th gen. So everyone was disappointed because no one thought. Like, there was no, like, in the morning, right, when they announced this, people were saying, like, 6th gen. It's like, no, there's no way it's going to be 6th gen. Are you stupid?
Yeah, I mean, they just be like got, another single, or was like, Sayaka gonna graduate, the usual rumor.
Yeah, the usual rumors. Like, the Sayaka graduate thing is the one that, like, pisses me off so much. Like, they're not gonna announce her graduation in some random, like, live stream from Handshake event. Like, that would be the dumbest thing ever.
I think it'd be like through a tweet or mobile mail. So like only the people who get mobile mail would know.
They get the first hand scoop.
Yeah, you better get on that app. That's what it's for Sayaka graduation.
Oh man, I have a feeling. I mean, she already has the fan club, the personal fan club, right? The Yamamoto Sayaka.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she does.
Wow.
She has a website and she has a personal fan club. But I mean, that would be like a really dirty way to like pump up subscriber count for her fan club. They could say like, Sayaka has a very big announcement in like tomorrow night, and the only way to get this firsthand information firsthand is if you sign up for like the Sayaka fan club.
Also, we post all the bikini photos there now too.
It's like membership just explodes.
Yeah, she doesn't do that anymore. So yeah.
Nah, she's not.
Well, she posts one that'll get everybody in the fan club now.
Yeah.
Was that one thread on stage? The one where somebody was like, Sayaka has a big announcement, and then like I forgot what the announcement was, but somebody's like, she used it to pay like tribute to the 311 or like victims or something.
No, that was stupid. Like people didn't understand. She was announcing that she was gonna appear in Metrock, like a very very big music festival. Yeah, so people like don't understand. So like, I have a big announcement tonight, and then next tweet she says like, we feel like whatever the anniversary of 311, and then like someone in the thread was like, the big announcement was like she thoughts and prayers to the 311 victims. It's like, come on, man, just use some critical thinking.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, thoughts and prayers for 6th Gen.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, next segment. We're gonna get some event reports. I just knocked down some trash. I'm filthy. Yeah, so next segment is event reports. Let's start with Matt. I think he wanted to talk about some of the stuff that happened at his 2 shots.
Yeah, so I went to a couple 2 shots both before and after Guam, and basically the highlights, like I did see Sayaka, and Sayaka's cool, so I'm not going to talk about that much. But the highlight was Anchu. So the first time I went there, cause she's not really popular, so I won one of the dumb iPad Kuji lottery prizes, which is either like a signed checky or a Polaroid photo. Or you can do like a 2-shot video with the member. And I saw on one of the options where the 2-shot video was like, free talk. So you can just talk about whatever. They had a script. I say something, she responds, I respond to that, and then she responds to that. But I just talked to her about like video games. So she just went on for like 30 seconds about Mario Kart, like using the mushroom on Rainbow Road to get to the shortcut or something. It was really hilarious.
Did you see one of the scripts had like the staff like talking?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and it's just like who is this guy? Why are you talking to us?
It's like who the hell would choose this?
Yeah.
Can you film the staff member though?
No, they're supposed to be
I
off
think so. I think just speak over.
Because he has it in his hand.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
No, that'd be fun.
And they probably know what the lines are.
But those scripts were like stupid.
Yeah, they're really stupid.
Like, I'm coming in a big Handshake fan. I'm so excited to meet you. Oh, thank you very much. And that was it.
Yeah.
Also, the script was in feminine voice.
Yeah. Perfect. A recreation of it.
Yeah, you had to talk like you drank some helium.
Yeah. So I did that, and that's just because I saw the free talk option. I'm like, okay, I might as well do that because Anju, she's a lot better in video. She's a lot more animated than just doing a picture. And then the other Handshake event I went to, I won her again, and I saw that the free talk option was mysteriously missing, maybe because of my whole hijacking of the situation.
Yeah, yes, of course,
no free
Matt.
talk.
They changed the rules exactly for you.
Because of me. Hey, they did that for someone else also. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll get a checky, get the little Polaroid. So we did the king slime with the stretchy face pose. And then she's drawing on it, and I have it right here.
That was a really good picture of Anchu, actually. You guys should go to Matt's Twitter and find it. I really like it.
I'll show it to you guys. So you guys can't see this if you're listening to it, but I'll show it to you guys on the video. So you get us doing the stretchy face, and then in the corner here you can't see it very well. There's a little king slime, Julia crowns on us.
No,
I get it.
I only see king slime and katakana.
Yeah, there's that written on it, but then above, it's in black over a black shirt or gray shirt, so it's not very. But I don't know, it's cute, it's funny, and then I had a lot of extra tickets for members. I just had too many for them. I just didn't want to use them. They're too busy. So I Oshimashi a ticket for her. Got just regular 2-shot photo with her because I can get one of those. And we did the kind of she posted this picture a while ago of her facing some dragon from Dragon Quest, and she's that kind of pose. And so I'm like, we should do that pose. And so when she was doing it, her tongue was all sticking out, she was all crazy, and I'm I just lost it. I started laughing. And then she started laughing at me because I'm just that, kind of like that. And then...
Oh, you.
Yeah, me. So that was actually another fun
Did we ever figure out which Dragon Quest monster she posted?
No, I don't think so.
I thought we did. Didn't you post it?
I posted a picture of it, but I didn't know what the name was. And I looked it up on Japanese, you said Crazy Dragon or something. I don't know what it was called, but yeah.
Crazy Dragon sounds funny.
Yeah. I remember looking up a list of Dragon Quest monsters, and then maybe it's this one.
Yeah,
but I'm not really sure either.
Yeah, I couldn't really find it, but yeah.
Because the monster was 16-bit, and it had to be from either 6 or the remix from 3. So I wasn't sure which one.
Or the Super Nintendo remix of 1, 2, and 3. And 4.
Well, they don't. The Super Nintendo remixes of 1, 2 don't use the
16
graphic set.
Really?
That you posted. Yeah. So it's either the remix for 3 or 6.
Okay. Yeah. That's my story.
Dragon Quest card. I mean, if she used Final Fantasy monsters, I could probably identify.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even identify Final Fantasy monsters
what? Tonberry or something?
If you showed me a picture of No, not Tomberry, but some random Final Fantasy 5 months.
No.
I have no shot of telling
Gilgamesh.
No, that's really obvious.
Gilgamesh sprite.
Yeah, Final Fantasy doesn't really. Well, they do reuse monsters, but they use a lot of random ones that only exist for that one game. So yeah, I get what Joe is saying.
I feel recurring monsters the bomb, the fireball bomb thing. That's probably a recurring monster I see in another game. Some random goblins, I guess. Cactar.
Anyway.
Yeah, special monsters.
That's enough about monsters from Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah.
Speaking of monsters.
Oh, yeah, something else.
Speaking of monsters.
So we had something else, right? Like, speaking of monsters, I'm going to bring up RJ.
Shout out to RJ.
Actually,
Matt V2.
I wanted to bring up the fact that you met RJ, but then you said, speaking of monsters, I was like...
Anyway, RJ's not a monster, so, like, Joe's like, oh yeah, my buddy RJ's there. You should look for him, talk to him. He looks a lot, he sounds like Matt, and he looks a bit like Matt. So, and I guess, like, Ryan and Andy, they were in line for someone. They saw some guy that looks like me. He's like, I think that's Matt. But, like, he didn't, like, look at us or talk to us.
No, so we were walking towards the lanes, and then we saw this, like, American guy, right, like, looking at his phone. And then Andy was, like, walking towards him. It's like, hey, I think that's Matt. So, and we got close, right? And they said, no, that's not Matt. And and we go, it's like, oh, it looked a lot like Matt. And then so Andy and I separated, and then we got the line from Joe. It's like both of us like started laughing. It's like, oh, okay, that was RJ.
It's funny because Ryan met RJ previously for the Ume-chan grad concert.
Yeah. So that's why when I saw him in line for Akarin, it's like, oh, that's definitely RJ. So I walked up to him. It's like, hey, how are you? But like, who was it? Like, what was the joke? Was it like?
I went to Gusto to meet up with you guys, and then like Ryan's like, "Oh, hey, RG." I was like, "What?" Actually, I knew what you guys were talking about. So I was
no. There was this like member, right? Who?
It was Monica Tani from SK48 because I guess he went to do like this. Oh no! Before I went to go see Goto Lala and get a signed jacket from her, and she was next to her. And then I guess, so she saw me talking to Lala, and then I guess RJ went and go talk to Tani Monica. And she's like, oh, you're back. To RJ. He's like, what?
Oh, this is my first time.
I also find it interesting because, Matt, you're white, right?
I'm white? Yeah, I'm white.
Because I think RJ is like half Mexican, half Japanese.
Okay, yeah. But like we kind of have like the same skin tone, slightly.
Yeah. I'm just saying that.
I'm not like ghost white, but yeah.
Half Mexican, half Japanese equals white. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember Andy saying that like RJ looks like a yellower version of Matt.
Yeah.
Now all white people look the same.
Yeah.
You can call Matt White RJ.
White RJ.
Or you can call RJ Yellow Matt.
Yellow Matt. Yep.
Anyway, I just want to bring that up. Shout outs to our boys from Basu Bakuhatsu.
Yeah.
Can't mess up that tongue twister now. Okay. So Ryan, speaking of monsters.
No, speaking of
white monsters.
No. Speaking of white
devils.
monsters. So my two shot story is about Andy met this like French dude during the photo event. Shout out to Joe of Podcast 48 from France. And
Is he from Podcast 48?
Yeah, he says he guessed on it.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so I saw this like white guy around the NMB lanes. Like, oh, there's a new white guy. that
new challenger has appeared.
Yeah, that was the extent of my like recognition of him. But so there were events, right? It was like Golden Week, so there were like so many events.
Mm-hmm. So
this is the first day. So this was Andy was there, and they lined up together with Sayaka, and I saw them chatting. And then so that night, so he took a lot of pictures, I guess, with the various members because that's what like foreigners do. They go to photo events. So, and he posts a lot on Twitter, and he posted like this picture of him and Okada Nana with like Okada Nana was acting as the like Romeo. Yeah. Romeo, and then he was Juliet, and he was like this tall, like good-looking white guy, And then so someone posted this picture on Ni channel, and then it's like, oh, right, it's really really kakui, like white guy, and then www, and then he got like a lot of like comments about, oh my god, who's this white guy? And then he suddenly turned into like semi-celebrity during the 2 days that during the 3 days that there were like events, because like you on the thread and on Twitter you would get like eyewitness reports of him. It's like, so he's like a big NMB fan. He was telling me that it's really weird that he got attention for the picture with Okada Nana and not with NMB, because like Okada Nana is the only non-NMB girl that he actually likes. So he's like this big Iso-chan fan, and he had the like the ticket holder like with Iso-chan's picture on it. So it was really funny because like on like Ni channel on Twitter you would see like, oh, I saw the white guy. He's it was really funny. I saw him in Yuri's Lane, and apparently he's an Erin Oshi. What? And then there was this other comment I saw, like, oh, I saw this guy in Okada Nana Lane, and I didn't realize he was a Kojimako Oshi. So I actually met him the next day. I was like, oh, hey, like, you're Andy's friend, and then so we got to chatting. And so I was telling him, about these things that I saw on Nicha. He was like, no. It's like he was saying that he was hoping that it would get some like attention for Iso-chan.
Backfired on him.
Yes. And now it's like people are like, oh, you're a Kojimako Oshi, and now he has to like go to Iso-chan and like explain to her, no, I actually really like, this is your picture.
I didn't switch him out on you.
Yeah. That's what he was saying, because like because last time he went, he changed like his clothes depending on the member. Like, you know how Wota do that, right? Like, oh, you know, I'm your Oshi or whatever.
I did that before.
Yeah. So he said that he did that, and then he didn't like the idea that like he's like cheating, like, I don't know, he's like fake. He's a fake fan, right? So he wanted like, okay, I will go to every member and I will like wear like Iso-chan like gear,
soccer jersey or something.
Yeah. Oh, he had like a PSG jersey on.
Well, I was laughing because like Matt said like, oh yeah, I changed clothes for like another member, and I'm just like, what was it? Just like from a red shirt?
Yeah,
like,
actually,
like, not
it was last
not even like
year.
Like changing from like Oshi shirt to Oshi shirt. It's just like, yeah.
I changed personas. I changed personas completely. I changed to the expatriate patriot, which is my pro wrestler costume, was the American flag.
Did you have to shoot yourself? No.
Onesie and pants and the American flag glasses.
You didn't turn into the dick in a carriage?
No.
The Mara.
But
I think the photo he had with Okada Nana looked really good though. So yeah, maybe that's why he got attention for it. Like if maybe the photos with Iso-chan don't look so good.
No, what's funny too is that like so you guys know where I hang out all the time, right? So
yep.
Yeah, in the closet.
No, that's what I do.
That's
at home.
personal. All right,
that's
sorry.
Personal. No, so I was there, and he was chatting with me, right? So I was like standing there, and like, so I got like, so I had some friends who like obviously like go around, right? And they were like, and they come in, it's like, oh my, so, and they had this face like, oh, who's Ryan talking to? Oh, it's that guy. and then they were saying like, so like the girls like, oh my, it's like, they were like, oh man, he's so handsome. Like, so he had like, so he went to Yuri and he took like this picture of like akambe. How do you say akambe? Like, it's when you pull down your eyes and then you.
Oh yeah, like
okay.
Yeah, the kid like being a brat pose or whatever.
Yeah. You see that in anime a lot. So he did that pose with Yuri, and so he was showing this to like the people in my friends, right? And then like the girls were like, "Oh man, even if he was doing that, he still looks good."
The most attractive Vota in the whole
He was saying that it was funny. Is like he was saying that I'm not really that attractive. I'm like it's like normal for France, just that they probably haven't seen like white people.
Yeah, they haven't seen me.
Clearly.
Yeah. I kind of like you're saying, like, oh, yeah, the white guy's over here. The white guy's over here. I'm imagine, like, also, like, oh, the white guy's over at the McDonald's. He's eating a hamburger, you know, like, reporting on that kind of stuff. Like, oh, wow. White guys like hamburgers. That's what my anime told me or whatever. Or something.
It's in my English textbook.
Yep.
Who was it said? Andy said that, like, his English textbook says that people from Canada live in igloos.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I swear to God, like all the English textbooks have the same thing. Like the Indian guy always has to bring up how he eats curry and stuff.
Oh man, like I had this like Indian friend, and like I couldn't come up with like any like conversation topics. It's like what kind of curry do you like?
Sack paneer, like oh damn dude, this guy's bro.
It was like, oh, do you like naan or something? It's like, nah, whatever. Anyways.
You could have talked about the difference between northern and southern Indian cuisine.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a big difference.
Yeah, my friend wouldn't shut up about it. It's like, he's from the south, and he's like, and I was asking him about naan. I don't know anything about naan. I'm from the south.
What's those little, like, fried, like, bread balls called? I forget what it's called. Like mansala?
Samosa.
Samosa. Yeah, okay, samosa.
No,
okay, that was confusing me. I hear samosa and I think like mimosa. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it sounds like a cocktail to me.
Yeah, samosa. Those things are good. That's just my Indian culture tidbit.
We should probably stop before we like offend more people.
Yeah.
All right, you got any other stories, or are we gonna wrap it up for our event reports this time?
Yeah, I think that's it for event reports.
Got it. All right. Next, we want to talk. Well, kind of, because next we're going to talk about Juban Shobu, which is a series of concerts that happen in the NMB theater, and they would have like a member or like a group of members. I think they had to apply, and they had to say like, "I want to do this show with this set list, doing all these things," and then they got approved or disapproved, rejected.
Yeah.
And so I think there were 10, right?
Yeah, it's Juban Shobu, so there were 10 shows over 7 days.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And so, like I wasn't really following it too closely, but I do remember you guys talking about Malkyun, and then obviously because Ryan's in the chat, there was Yuri, and then Anshu had one.
Yeah.
Konomin had one.
Uka had one.
Yeah, what's interesting is that they all had like different themes, so it's not just that. Oh, I want to have my own show. It's that they had to like come up with a theme and then come up with a set list and then get it approved by staff, and then when it gets approved, then that's when they can have shows. So, like, it's not even that the themes have to be, like, very, like, broad, like, serious stuff. Like, for example, like, Yamarina's theme, the title of her show was Stand By Me. It's like, what does that mean?
She's going to perform that song. Did she perform that song?
No.
Did you?
No.
Yeah, oh, that's disappointing.
I was thinking...
What a false advertising.
Yeah. I mean, the staff should have known, like, hey, it's called Stand By Me. If Stand By Me is not one of the songs on the set list, then should have just rejected it outright.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done if I was staff.
Unfortunately, none of them were American. But,
they put it in...
And this...
They put it in Final Fantasy 15. It's like the theme song.
This is why Matt isn't staff right
Yeah,
now.
that's true. That's true.
So... It's so when she did the show, right? It was because all the songs that she performed had use of a mic stand.
So what songs use a mic stand? I know Heavy Rotation.
Yeah, so Heart Gata, Virus, Blue Rose, Natasha. Stuff. I mean, there are a lot actually. You get like 10 songs. So one thing that we have to say is that the Juban Shobu is a shorter show. So
it's like an hour.
It's an hour. Normal NMB shows are like 2+, and this one was 1+. But
well, even the quintet one?
Quintet is the longest one. It's an hour and a half.
Okay.
So
I was just reminded of Matt liking Quintet. The was it
which one do you like? The only song they have, yeah. Which they did perform that, but I was expecting them to just perform that for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
On
Imagine
repeat.
submitting that It's like, oh, we want to do a quintet show. Okay, let me look at your set list. It's like, why is there 13 which ones on it?
We only have that song.
We have.
They have different variations. Like, here's the blues version. Here's, like, the hip-hop version. You know? I feel like NMB, like, they, like, go around. They'll go along with something dumb like that, too.
Maybe back in the day. I don't know if they're as, like, stupid as they used to.
They did, like, at the 7th anniversary, they did, like, the overture, like, 3 times. It was a different version every time. Well, yeah, so that's like...
But that's because they were like... That's because they're like, oh, we're going to start the show, and then they did some song that's not like NMB. It's like, oh, no, we got to start the real show, and then they did Overture.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But if it's not like they put Overture in, like, Request Hour, like, 3 times. They did put the Kaneko song, so we got that.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something stupid, but I always say something stupid.
So,
oh no, I was thinking of the Stand By Me, and I was going to make a JoJo reference, which doesn't make any sense because I don't watch JoJo,
so like, Nagisa had, I thought, like, Nagisa's is one of the most interesting ones, because she did, Showa medley, basically. She sang all shows that are known as Showa, which, if people aren't aware, is the previous Japanese era, and it spans, like, 63 years.
Yeah.
So
into the 1988, 89.
Yeah, but then here in Japan, when they say Showa songs, they don't really mean like 1940s songs, right? No one gives a shit about that.
There weren't any songs in the 1940s.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God, that was messed up. I'm so sorry.
There are no radio towers. But no. The Americans made sure of that.
Alright, there goes all of our Japanese fans. Oh no. Oh no.
Anyways. So when they say Showa, it usually means like 70s to 80s.
Yeah. Well, they used to, they also make fun of people's birthdays as Showa. Like, Yamada Nana, they would always say she was Showa Jidai. Because she's old, one of those things.
You guys are both Showa.
Yeah.
I'm Heisei 1, Heisei Ichiyo.
Oh.
Yeah, I could live in Showa-ku.
Yeah, I live in Showa.
Yeah.
Showa-cho.
Okay, here goes the doxing again.
Doxing segment, yeah. Hey, can we say those offensive things? Now you know where to find us.
What's your mother's maiden name?
What's the name of the first pet you had? What about the name of your best friend in
high school,
in primary
school? What's the color of your first car? Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, would you say that the Juban Shobu is mostly targeted towards people that like theater shows? Like, would there be reason for somebody that doesn't like theater shows? I won't say doesn't like, but like doesn't care for theater shows. Is there a reason for them to watch like Juban Shobu?
Yeah, because it's completely new, right? It's not like the standard theater shows. Now, I wouldn't know why you wouldn't like theater shows, because it's like I think
the hardest thing to get into.
It's the hardest thing to get
Arguably.
into, and it's like the best thing that like 48 does, I think. Like, it's the only like advantage it has over like the others. Like, from a fan experience point of view, I think the theater is like the best thing. But yeah, so the thing is, like, let's say you're like really, really sick of like these shows, right? Like, oh, Mogokekisha, I've seen this since like, I don't know, freaking Team A, whatever, like 10 years ago. And then like Mogokekisha, even within NMB, like Team M still does Idol no Yoake. They freaking did Idol no Yoake for like 3 years. And they, let's do it again, because we really love Idol no Yoake. And then, yeah, whatever. So let's say you're really sick of like these shows. So it's like something completely new. Like, it's basically 10 mini concerts, right? Like, if you don't like concerts, I don't know what you're doing in this fandom, to be honest. Like, you just like pretty girls, I guess. But
you only do it for the fashion magazines.
That's true. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's totally not true. What's wrong with you? That's just you're just speaking from personal experience.
Just bought 2 new ones like the other day.
Yeah, I would have wanted to see the shows because like of the member or the group I like. Like, I like Anchu, so I would have wanted to see her show. I like Quintet, so I'd like to see their show. Even if I couldn't, because I'm a guy and only girls were allowed in that one.
Yeah, that was like the most interesting one, actually. Quintet they're the only. Well, there were 2 shows that had more than one member performing, but like the Konomin one, like no one actually expected it to happen. It was like kind of a surprise. So when Konomin announced that, when it was announced Konomin was doing a show, everyone thought, oh, of course she's gonna do a dance show, right? Because it's Konomin. Or at worst, she's gonna do like a series of like songs where she came up with like new choreography or something. But nope, she did a play. Which like completely like confused the hell out of everybody. So like Quintet was the only show that was announced to have like 5 members, which is like, you know, the Quintet members. And then they announced like something special where it was gonna be a girls only show. So which is like very brave, I guess, courageous of NMB to do that, because the Quintet show was on a Thursday. To do a girls-only show on a Thursday is like pretty impressive, to be honest. And like a normal show, you couldn't fill it up like on a weekday.
Yeah,
if it's girls only, because like the vast majority of fans are guys, or the vast majority of fans who are willing to skip work to go to the theater are guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, this is Japan. I don't know if girls have work.
Oh, they do.
Yo,
they do.
that sabetsu. Yo.
Yeah.
We're just alienating all kinds of audiences today.
Basically.
I don't know. They say in Japan that like, well, in Japan like a guy can still, you know, work for the entire family. I don't think you could do that in the U.S. anymore. Like, just have the wifey stay at home.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's more. Girls working is more common nowadays, but still not the most. It's not like the vast majority.
I think it's gonna progress just because like the population is dwindling.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway,
societal issues. But yeah, Quintet was really nice. So I have a story about Quintet. So I went to Handshake with Yuri. And I was telling her, oh yeah, the Quintet show was really great. And she's like, oh, so did you watch it live stream? Because they live streamed it. Oh, by the way, they live streamed it on Osaka channel and YouTube. Mm-hmm. So she asked me, oh, so did you watch it live stream? I was like, no, I was there. Didn't you see me? And she was like, she was kind of taken aback, but she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, no, of course not. Like, how would I get in? It was girls only. And she's like, oh, no, it's because, like, we, like, the Quintet members were talking with each other and saying, like, hey, what if, like, someone cross-dresses to get in? Would it be funny? Ha, ha, ha. And then when you said that you got in, I thought you cross-dressed to get in. It's like, have you seen me? Like,
well, I don't know.
You're a pretty lady, Ryan. Yeah, you're a very pretty lady.
Yeah, I actually told this story just to get to hear you say that, man. But
yeah, I've been saving it.
Like maybe you do. You don't know. You've never done it. I think. Unless you tried, you're like, no, this is not working. This is not working out.
No, so which this actually prompted like a discussion between me and my friends. Like, like how would you have to look where it wouldn't look suspicious that you were like going in as a guy or a girl? Because especially in Japan, you get like a lot of those androgynous looking people, right? Mm-hmm. And like you could like just like look at them funny. It's like, why? What? Are you gonna say something? Are you gonna say something? Right? So especially with Japan, right? They want to keep the peace. Like they won't really like if you look like somewhere in between, they would probably not question you if you were male or female.
Anyway, do you guys have any final thoughts about like the concert, like, or the Juban Shobu set? Anything?
I think they do another one, like members or groups they should do. I think they should do a 5th gen group, like, or like the Good Timing, the Sasa Psycho unit.
But, oh man,
basically be like Quintet, like, baby Quintet is what I call it.
Yeah, they had a Kinkyusei stage, right? Oh yeah, it was T-Man, it was Kokoten.
Yeah, they still do that, Katleya.
Oh yeah. See, it's still good. You don't need Juban Shobu.
I just wanted to do Sasa Psycho and Good Timing 13 times.
Well, I mean, they could add that. They should add that. Well, they can't add that to Catalia because like then you'd have the Draftees doing it. You can't have that. That's weird.
Yeah.
No, what you do, because the Psycho unit is like, I don't know, 5 or 6 members. So you could do it like how Team N used to do it, where they had like 2 unit songs and they split the members into 2 songs.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Anything? I mean, like everyone's like, oh, they should have Sayaka do it. It's like, well, whatever. She can have her own concert.
Sayaka is like, Sayaka is the only person that I don't want to do this. Because like she fills up like freaking NHK Hall. Like she doesn't need like 200 people in the theater to watch her. She gets like 2,000.
Dude, she needs that 500 yen or that 5,000 yen performance.
On the last day of Juban Shobu was actually where Sayaka performed in Metrock, the big music festival. So actually, like,
dude, bringing it back.
Yeah. So
uniting the topics.
in the event yesterday, actually, like I saw like a lot of people wearing like Metrock T-shirts. It's like, when did like Wotas suddenly get like an appreciation of like indie music?
I don't know. I mean, maybe people are more balanced nowadays. They're healthier. They're not just straight up one trick nerds. Now they're nerds of many things.
I doubt that.
Just like our show became about Monster Hunter, and 20 minutes ago was about monsters and Dragon
Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Okay, I think that should do it for Juban Shobu, unless anybody has any objections.
No, I think we're good.
Move along.
Right in here. Okay, so next is our meta topic. Today's meta topic will be about handshake events, because I know we get like a lot of like comments about handshakes. People like handshake reports. So we thought we'd talk about like a few things, like a few of the decisions that we make when we go to handshake events. So I guess one of the first things that's kind of the most obvious is like how many tickets do you get, should you get, and like how do you use them? So how should we kick this off? I don't want to talk about like how many tickets we got for like the election, because that's
a bit like inflated or something. Yeah,
that would alienate everyone listening to this.
It's like I think minimum 50 tickets for this one girl because of election. Like, oh, minimum 50, dude. That's all right. It's funny, right? Because I was buying. Well, so I guess I'll bring it up anyway. But like I'm buying tickets for like the election, and like I got 3 and 5, right? Because resale, like the first
max was
like
3, yeah,
tickets, and then next was max 5,
yeah.
And so I got 8 tickets for Joe, right? And then I was like, maybe it like I was like considering, correct? Because I was also want to get Anchu. Anchu is like 6th slot, and Joe was like 1st slot. That was the only slot that she didn't sell out, which is now sold out. And I was like, should I get more like Joe tickets? And then you guys are like, yeah, you should. Like, and if you like don't like her, you could just like oshimachi them later. And I'm just like, God, dude, like, I don't know, man. 13 tickets for Joe is like a lot. So in the end, I didn't get the 13 tickets. I stuck with my 8 tickets, because I feel like, for me at least, like more than maybe like more than 10 is like too hard for me to deal with.
For one member or total, like a whole day or something?
For one member. I actually got like 2 Anshu, 2 Rikati, and 2 Dare
Yamarina.
No, I don't know why I keep bringing Yamarina.
Suzu.
Yeah, Suzu.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 Suzu, 2 Anshu, and 2 Rikati.
Like, I feel like that's too few.
I don't even know if like I'm gonna use those Rikati tickets. So
you could oshimashi them to someone, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Coco, let's go.
Yeah. So, is that like are the tickets for Joe 1 slot? 8 tickets 1 slot?
Yeah.
So it's always like how many you have for the day for one girl, and how many do you have for 1 slot. So I think like if you do like 3 plus tickets per slot, and even if you get like 15 tickets a day, but then that's split out into like 3 slots, into 5 slots, that's very, very different than having like 15 tickets 1 slot. It depends on like the status of the lane. Like, can you loop, or do you have to matome? And also because like in this short period, right, you only have like an hour plus to get into the lane, so you have to finish all the 15 tickets, for example. Versus like you have the entire day, right? Like stuff can happen in the entire day, right? Like
member gets sick and cancels like their afternoon, evening slots, and then you're like, well, I have 30 tickets. What do I do with these? I mean, that's when Oshimashi kicks in.
Yeah. So a lot can happen in the day.
Or refunds.
Or refunds, but that's even later. or like a
6 months later.
Yeah. Or a year.
Since you brought up like loop versus matome, right? I'm not sure if people like know like the difference, right? Like loop is when you go back, and then like matome is like use them all
at once. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, matome literally means like package, so
combined together. Yeah.
Summary.
So like
how
do you guys stand on the matome or loop side? Do you prefer to do matome or do you prefer to do loops?
Yeah, or do you like mix it up, or like do you use do you like loop 3 times, but like you only do like matome like 3 times, or like you only do matome like the last one. There's like all these different like methods that you can do.
And there's pros and cons to each method too.
Yeah, so like for me, I think like for the first, I like to loop like 3 times, and like the first time I like to use like 2 tickets, and then like 3 with the rest. So like that's what I do. That's why 8 is good for Joe. And then like some of them who like I don't really have like a lot to say. So like the other 3 girls, like I think 2 tickets is fine, right? And I would just like matome them. But the difference between like a loop, right? Because like you have time to like compose your thoughts, and, like, bring up a new topic. Yeah. Whereas if you like matome, like it's kind of weird to just like switch topics in the middle of like a conversation, right? It's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, like who's your favorite? Like, can you give me like some recommendations for like some Japanese songs that you like, right? And if you loop, then like the next time you can ask a different question, like, oh, like I'm hungry. Do you have any recommendations for restaurants in the area or something like that? But if you like matome, you can't be like, oh, what's your favorite song? Oh, I see. Like, oh, that's a good song. I like that artist. Now where should I eat tonight? Like, oh, that's kind of weird.
That's why I use like phrases like, oh, by the way, or oh, I heard about this, you know.
There's no way to connect like your favorite songs with food though. And the problem, okay, so we can talk like problems of matome. The problem of matome sometimes like if the conversation takes you somewhere else. Let's say you want to talk about 2 things, right? Like for example, your favorite songs, and then what your favorite foods are. So I don't know why you want to do that, but let's say you want to do that, right? So let's say...
Shut up, I actually did it.
So, you matome, right? Say, okay, I'm gonna steer the conversation to this. But then, what could happen, what is likely to happen actually, is that, oh, what are your favorite songs? And then, the girl is like, could be taken aback. It's like, and then like, or they go like, oh, I like this whatever song that you've never heard of. And then like, so... What you could do is like cut it off, right? And then say, okay, so I'm kind of hungry. Can you recommend me like food? Which makes you sound really stupid. But what the natural reaction is like, oh, so where are they from? And then you say, she's gonna say like, oh yeah, they sang the opening song for like Gundam or something. Right? And then you're going to go, let's say you're interested in Gundam. It's like, oh, yeah. So which one? And then, oh, yeah, I saw that. Blah, 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 right? So it can branch into that, and then you don't talk about food anymore. Or you suddenly start talking about your favorite Gundam.
Which Gundam is your favorite one to eat? Like, oh, God, no, I'm just mixing everything.
No, I mean, this is kind of... it sounds dumb, me explaining this, because this is like how conversations work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
like at the same time, since we're paying for like a set amount of tickets, it's just like you kind of have to figure out like how you want to structure like
your convo,
like your conversation, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same thing. Like if you were to meet somebody and you never knew them, or like you just met them online, you have to like get together.
You're right. We're playing like 20 questions with them,
Yeah.
Ask them everything about them.
I think one of the worst things, like one of the most like unsatisfying feelings, is if you want to talk about something, and then they suddenly bring something else up. Like I'm sure Joe has had this happen to him, where like, oh, I want to talk about like, let's say your favorite restaurants, and then they suddenly oh, I like your shirt. So so that's like that's really hard to suddenly pivot up to like, oh, then what kind of I bought this in Uniqlo. By the way, what are your favorite restaurants?
Yeah.
Right. So that's part of the whole experience. Like, so it kind of feels weird, and like it's easier to like give you this advice rather than like doing it yourself. But my advice is always to just like go with the flow, right? Like, even if you have like, oh, this is like the funniest joke ever, I'm gonna tell this joke and then she's gonna laugh, and then we're all gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
But then if the
it always goes that way too.
Yeah, of course, goes perfectly. But if your conversation derails, never ever try to like pull it
recover.
back.
Yeah,
because it just feels weird.
Yeah,
like even the girl suddenly will go like, oh, right, like obviously they will answer your question, right? Like it's like, oh, I like your shirt. Yeah. So what's your favorite restaurant? Of course, they will still answer that.
I'm still laughing about favorite restaurant for some reason. Like, you keep pulling it back. It's almost like as annoying as if we were at a handshake event.
I couldn't come up with any generic.
It's like, oh, I like your shirt. Like, oh yeah, I got it at Uniqlo, right? Like, and did you know that Uniqlo is right next to my favorite restaurant?
I mean, if you're witty enough to like be able to drag the conversation back that way, then more power to you.
Yeah, well, it's not just being witty enough, but like also in the window of like a handshake too.
Yeah.
I can do that, and I can do that over lunch with some friends.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the advantages of like looping. What are some of the advantages of like Matome, right? Because I think the most I've used at once was like, I don't know, maybe like 10, and I thought that was really awkward.
Yeah, I've done like 10 or 15.
I know, Matt, you said like you use like...
I use it for Gala, Gotodala. It's because it speaks English, so at least you can have that conversation. Like, we both understand what we're saying. So, like, last year for the election, I had like 15 tickets, and I'm like, just asked her, I stole your idea, Joe. It's like, what do you think about English education in Japan? And so she just went off for the whole time. She literally just talked my head off the whole time. So it was like, that's actually good. That's like using it right. So I think I like the Matome because you like the very, like, full, complete, uninterrupted conversation. And whereas, like, if you do looping, it kind of gets broken up if you want to bring it back, the conversation or something. I was doing that yesterday at this other handshake event for another group, for another member that speaks English. And I was talking to her about Pokemon for, like, two or three loops. And then the next loop, I talked to her about chicken nuggets. And then the next loop, I talked about other stuff. And so I was like, if you want to continue the conversation, it's kind of awkward.
You just use Craigslist for that, man.
Craigslist. Yeah.
Tinder.
But yeah, so I do like using like the full long conversation because if you only use like one or two tickets, it's too short. Feels too short for me. I think 3 is like the lowest I'll use for a member, unless I'm doing like Oshimashi on like on an untested member, as I'd call it, as like a brand new member.
What are some examples of like some of the longer like conversations you had, like some topics that you brought up? Because me, I always have trouble, right? Because I'm kind of like off the cuff. Like, just randomly, like, noticing things or, like, bringing up, like, really stupid things. Yeah.
Because I'm probably at the disadvantage where I can speak some Japanese at, like, a very basic conversational level. So, like, with, like, Sayaka or whoever, I can only have, like, so much without, like, in terms for, like, my vocabulary or whatever just screws me over. With the English speaker, so, yeah, Lala or Imichi. Just to talk about, like, random topics in English or, like Imichi, like, she was really into, like, Marvel movies and stuff. So I talk about, like, oh, did you see Jessica Jones? We just talked about that for, like, a couple minutes, and then, yeah. So basically, it's do some research on the member and what they know. Because I did that with Anshudu. I talked to her about, like, Yakuza.
Research.
Yeah, research, yeah. Google. Let's talk about Yakuza for, like, 3 tickets worth.
Not stalking at all.
Yeah. Because you might do that, like, in the Namba, the Shamikai or whatever, where, like, you get a random member. Like, you have a ticket for a lot, but it's a random member. Shit, who's this member? I don't know who she is. I have to look it up while I'm waiting in line for her.
That happens.
Yeah. And maybe that information is like outdated.
It's like, Shiraishi Mai, do you still like mayonnaise?
Yeah.
No, it's like going to Sayaka and asking her about the shurijo or something.
The shuri.
Yeah.
What's the shurijo?
I left my shurijo shirt at home. Or ask her to do the Totoro face.
Oh man, that brings me back.
It's funny because I want to ask like Ryan like what he uses, but he never talks about like what he talks about.
Yeah, Yuri is on one hand. I feel like we knew everything about Ryan's conversation with Yuri. Both we knew absolutely nothing about Yuri.
I don't know. I don't keep track. Like I don't keep track of the conversations I have. Like
what prevents you from like using the same conversation you used before? What, like, do you remember that then, or?
It's like, hey, what's your favorite restaurant? 2 weeks later, hey, what's your favorite restaurant?
Well, when you go to different events, like you're in Tokyo, okay, what's your favorite restaurant in Yokohama? Oh, what's your favorite restaurant in Makuhari? You know, okay, that works.
What's your favorite restaurant in Makuhari?
Oh, you know what? I actually
the correct answer is Outback Steakhouse.
I actually pulled that on her once. It was in Nagoya. So I went to Nagoya for like a mini event in HMV. So we had to buy CDs and there's a mini handshake. So I had nothing to talk about. So I said, "Oh, this is like it's probably my first time in Nagoya. So do you have any?"
It's probably, you don't know.
No, because I used to live like somewhere in Aichiken, but not in Nagoya. So I asked her, "Oh, this is probably my first time in Nagoya. So do you have any recommendations?" And she was like, "Tebasaki."
That's, I don't know. What would she say, like Yamachan?
No. She just said Tebasaki. She probably
See, that's even
these members like don't go out in Nagoya, right? Like, so they would go to like Nagoya for an event and then they'd go home. So like they would like get food probably catered, and probably like they have like Tebasaki as catered food. Before the Juban Shobu, for example, like she said that she wanted to do solo live in the theater. I actually think like one of the reasons that they did Juban Shobu was because Yuri talked about it like a long time ago. But that's one of her goals, was to have a solo show, and she was the only member to have ever talked about it. And anyway, so like one of the conversations, like, so if you're gonna have like a show, so what kind of show will it be? So what songs will you sing, and then what will you do, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So okay. I've done that.
Funny because we keep bringing up the restaurant thing, and I remember like I actually did ask Joe, like I was like, "Oh, dude, I have something to confess, right? Like it's kind of embarrassing." She's like, "Oh, tell me, what is it?" And I was like, "I'm really hungry. Like I need something to eat. Like, do you know anything around Namba?" Like, what the hell? And then she's like, "Oh yeah, you should go like get the takoyaki." I forget what the name of the takoyaki place is.
Wanaka.
Wanaka, yeah. Okay, so she's like, "Oh, you should go there." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm already going there, but that's like a snack. Like I need something else." And then she's like, "Oh," so it's like something else, and she's like, "Jojoen, right?" And then like that was like the end of that thing, right?
Is Joe so, like really rich?
It's probably like a joke, right? Like
okay.
Jojoen, right?
Okay.
So I go, right? Like, and maybe like a week later, I'm like, is there even like Jojoen near Namba, right? So I look it up, and I was like, there isn't, right? There's only one near like Umeda, right? So like, yeah. I think like maybe like 3 months later, I was like, hey man, remember like you told me like to go to Jojoen in Namba? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, there is no Jojoen in Namba. And like,
Was it you who asked Shu what food she wants to eat, and she said Jojoen?
Did Shu say that?
Yeah, someone told me the story that like they asked Shu like, so what do you want to eat now? And she said Jojoen. And it's like, oh, you eat really well.
Is Jojoen like really that expensive, or do they just have like an expensive like option?
No, they're well known for being like an expensive yakiniku place.
Because I remember when I went there, I think it was only I think it was like 6,000, 8,000?
Yeah.
Like 6,000, 8,000?
That's crazy. Like, did you drink a lot? Or that was just food?
That was like the set menu.
Wow.
I think it was okay. But I remember, but like, that was like, because I think this is when I was as a tourist, and I was just like, I want to eat something like really nice, right? So I just asked my friend Ray, like, hey, let's do something crazy, right? Let's get like yakiniku. He's like, all right. And then we're just like, oh, what should we get? And like at the time he didn't know anything, so he's like, oh, let's just go to Jojoen, right? So like we just called, made a reservation, and then we went there. And it was like 6,000 to 8,000 or something. And apparently now like we don't consider that expensive.
Well, that's because you guys spend a crazy amount of money on food.
Every once in a while. Anyway. Matt was laughing about something.
Yeah, you guys go to all the fancy. You guys all go to all the fancy places. I was laughing about something else. Don't worry about it. Don't mind me.
I want to know. Oh, okay. I thought it was related to our topic.
No, of course it was. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's go back to I guess topics like So like when I meet like the expat members, or not the expat, the returning members. So like the Hillarys, the Lalas or Rionas, the ones that live like in America or live abroad. I ask them, hey, what was like your favorite part about living in America, or like what do you miss the most about living abroad that you can't get in Japan? So that's that kind of question. That's a good idea topic for stuff. I also like with the Japanese members, since obviously don't have to live abroad. If it's like the Halloween event or like the New Year's event, the Valentine's event, I'll tell them like the differences. Oh, this is how we celebrate, Christmas in America. It's different from Japan, isn't it? Oh, or something like that. Also, what's your favorite restaurant?
That's important, though.
What's your favorite restaurant for Christmas?
Is it KFC? Oh, wow.
No, I like the Fami Chicken, man.
Oh yeah,
Fami Chiki is legit though. It's like
Family Chiki. I think it's like Family Chiki, and then maybe Karage-kun from Austin's. Those are probably the.
Karage-kun sucks. Fami Chiki, but 7-Eleven is the worst one.
Cheese Karage-kun.
Well, Fami Chiki's not karage though, right? Like it's
it's
like
a piece of
giant chicken nugget.
Yeah, like a American style.
That's kind of like my conversation topics. Usually, just ask them about America or abroad. What do you think about America? Sometimes they'll bring up to me, like, I went to see Katamina, and it's like when Trump was in Japan. It's like, Trump isn't in Japan right now. That like, caught me off guard. That's like asking me like what my favorite restaurant is. And it's like, oh yeah, Trump. Did you know Trump's in Japan? I'm like, yeah. And then I think I ranted about like, yeah, I can't. I need to use a locker, but all the lockers are closed because of security reasons, so I can't do that. All the garbage cans were also like blocked.
Really?
Because people were.
Was he in the same area?
It's all over Tokyo, like the greater Tokyo area. So I was down in Yokohama, and it's even that far down. It's like,
wow. Yeah,
no lockers, no garbage cans.
Speaking of
the subway attack.
Yeah, I guess so. We're just being extra secure.
Okay.
Speaking of like being inconvenienced by like dumb North Americans. Were you there, Matt? Like I know Andy experienced this too. So there was this. You guys know Makuhari, right? Only has like one station and one platform to get the hell out of there. So it's like really, really inconvenient. So, and especially like if like all the wotas like start going home, it like the thing gets really, really full and it's really hard to get out.
Mm-hmm.
I had one experience where I got caught up in people going home from a Justin Bieber concert.
Oh yeah, I think I was there.
You were there? Oh my god!
I think I remember.
It's the worst thing ever. Did you go home
I don't think
early?
they were going home. I think they were arriving.
Ah, okay.
So like I saw them like on the way out.
Yeah, I got stuck going home with them. It was like just like one whole like procession towards the station because like Makuhari's kind of far from the station, right? So
yeah.
It's like, oh my god, it's like worst experience ever.
That train sucks anyway, because not only are those people coming from Makuhari for that, but also it stops at Disneyland, so that fills up with all the Disney idiots too. So, like that's the worst. That's why Makuhari sucks. It's just too crowded.
Yeah.
Like the funny thing is like the image like I think we have as like Western influence, I guess, is that like Justin Bieber is like for tweeners or like like those kind of people, right?
Yeah.
And then like when I was leaving, right, I see all these like people for all these Japanese people for the Justin Bieber concert, and there's like all these people like trying to look like super hard, right? Like all these guys with like their punk like hairstyles, maybe like the ska John on. I was like, oh dude, and then they have like a Justin Bieber shirt. And I'm just like, oh my god, dude, this looks terrible. I know that like he's more like what like I don't want to say thuggish now, but like.
Yeah, he has
he's trying to be like more cool, I guess.
More F-boy.
Like, and like I don't know, man. Like I can't imagine like people like going with that, but I guess it works in Japan, so more power to them. I thought it was so funny, right? Like me, like I don't know. Like imagine like Backstreet Boys like fans like dressing up as like gangsters, like and trying to look all cool, like oh dude, yeah, like Justin Timberlake. No, Timberlake is NSYNC. Sorry.
I mean, you kind of have the thing at AKB. Have like the bozo, the biker gang costumes that the Wotas will wear.
Bozo.
Was it Bozo? Buzo?
It's Bosozoku.
Bosozoku.
Bozo. I like Bozo.
All these bozos out here. You just call him an idiot? Like,
Yep.
I don't mess with him.
They're really dumb, but they're really scary. But you know what I mean. I get those like giant biker jacket things that say like, I don't know.
I think those are more parody than like they actually think they're like super hard or whatever.
No, they're definitely like, it's not a joke. I mean, they're serious, but like none of them actually think that they're actually Yakuza or anything.
Or bozos.
Yeah, bozos. Yeah. Actually, so that's the thing. Isn't like in the U.S. like you go to, it's like taboo or like a faux pas to like wear like the band's T-shirt at their show.
Is it?
It's like you're not cool if you do that.
Wow. Really?
Something.
Yeah, something like that. It's like it's really lame to wear like the band's T-shirt to their concert.
So what if you wear a different band's shirt?
That's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Go there wearing like a Backstreet Boys shirt.
Actually, even the band will do that too. Like the band will wear some other band's shirt while performing.
That's really weird. I can't imagine.
But then, like in Japan, that's like all you do is buy the T-shirts. Yeah. Like, everyone wears it.
In Japan, it's like kind of cool because like you watch the concert, everybody's like clad in the T-shirt, and it's like but like when you see like a band in like the U.S., it's more like I already know who I'm gonna see. Like, why do I need a T-shirt saying that I like them?
That's also the thing that like puzzles me with the band T-shirts, like the concert T-shirts, like the day 1, day 2 T-shirt. I'm like, you're only gonna wear that once in your whole life.
It's like, yeah. So it's like the tour shirts, even with NMB. Like, that's like the worst deal you can get. I think like people keep buying them, right? Like you have like, 7th anniversary T-shirt. Like you just put like a time limit on your shirt.
Yeah, expiration date. It's like a car; it's gone as soon as you leave the venue.
Yeah.
Well, I always liked wearing them in the U.S., but now that I'm in Japan, especially like I think it was 6th because I really like the colors. Like I have the sweater for 6th, right, and it's like a splash of like the NMB colors, and it says like NMB 6th. I think it looks pretty cool, but like I can't wear it here. Like I don't want to show my NMB colors here. All right. So like our final like I guess portion of the meta topic that I want to get into is like a lot of times we'll go to see somebody for the handshake, and sometimes we'll like really get attached to them, or sometimes we'll be like, yeah, they were cool like from afar, but like handshake, like, I don't want to buy tickets anymore. And then some of us will just buy like a lot of tickets for one member,
and no one else.
I wonder, like, come on, we've talked about Andy enough on this podcast.
No, we don't want to bring up his name, right? It's Andrew L. Or A. Lee. One of them.
A. Lee.
And, it's like, for example, like I'm a big Joe fan, and, I'm only going to buy, or I'm like for the Sankyo, I'm just going to use all my tickets for Joe, but like, I'll still get like 2 for like some other girl, for the side chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Side pieces.
Yeah, my man.
And I guess if you're a foreigner and you're listening to us, like, there's probably a good chance that you're just going to get like everybody that you could possibly get, right? Because you're not going to have like a lot of times. You're not going to become a regular if you're like from, I don't know.
It's like a buffet. all you can meet buffet.
All you can meet? Oh my god. That sounds so
We're killing it with the puns today.
Oh god. So like have you ever like visited somebody and like and because of that you like didn't like them or you don't want to go back to see them? Have there been like girls where you saw them and then like you were like really inspired, like, oh yeah, this chick's cool, like I want to keep going there? Like any stories like that? Anybody?
I guess considering I guess Ryan doesn't have much variety, and he's like, I'll talk.
But he used to.
He used to. When you're Hako, yeah, okay, yeah. What made you become Yuri? Start going to see Yuri exclusively,
especially for handshakes, like with a focus on that.
Well,
you didn't even go to handshakes before, did you?
Yeah, no. I was never a fan of handshakes in general. So the only reason I would go to handshakes was to hang out with other people, like when Joe came over. Like, okay, what days are you going, Joe? I'll buy tickets on that day and I'll go meet you. And then like
me,
yeah, you, and then Thai Joe, and then
I was thinking of Thai Joe.
Jason. So this was even when I was like living in Osaka before. Like Jason would come over for events. He would stay over at my place like for events, right? And like, okay, I'll buy some tickets like and go with you. So I liked NMB in general, but like I was never like inspired to go to events. Now I go to all events.
But now you only go for Yuri, right?
Yeah.
Like how was it like going to other girls like before you became like a Yuri Oshi and you would just like buy tickets for anybody?
I don't know. To be honest, like a lot of because I would only use like one ticket. So this is probably like the experience with a lot of foreigners. Wow, excepting the Moso ones.
Not the bozo ones.
No, not the bozo ones. The fantasy experiences, right? So I don't have the fantasy experience. So to me, it felt very clinical. It's hard to explain. It's like you go and then you shake their hands and it's over. Which
yeah.
I mean, that's how it works. But like, I never felt like, oh, okay, this was great. I want to do it again. Like, I don't know. It was.
There wasn't like a girl where you're like, oh, okay, like I want to see this girl like more.
No. So I'll give an example. I'll give a couple of examples. So I went to see, like, for example, Yamada Nana.
Okay.
And it was actually really fun when I went to see her because I went to her and said like, oh, Nana, I really like you because we're close in age, so I feel I feel a connection. I feel a connection there. And she, I'm not that old, Matt.
This is the handshake.
No, I'm saying Nana's not that old.
Yeah, I know. So she kind of like got like where I was going. She was like, "Oh, how old are you?" I said, I don't know how old I was at this time. I was like 30 or something. I was like,
and she was like 20 something.
Yeah, no, she was like 21.
22. Okay. Okay, 9 years, I guess.
Yeah,
okay,
something like that. So
that's close. Yeah, we're about the same age.
Yeah,
you say like we're both Showa Jidai.
No, what's really hilarious is that she just like shut up. And she had this like withering look on her face, looked at me, and then as I was getting like kicked out, right? So this was before
like the evil eyes.
So as I was getting pushed out of the lane, she just like really really like straight like nande yanen.
What the hell?
Yeah, so
I think there are people that like there's certain people that like certain reactions, and like I think that's the kind of reaction like I like, right? The people that like will scold me, right? So like yeah. I think that's why I like Jo, because she actually does like scold me, and I always say like a bunch of dumbass shit anyway.
Like so, that was the best experience I got like from like all the handshakes that I used to go to, but. How do you say this? Like it didn't really make me want to go see her again. It was like it was a fun experience. Like I was telling a lot of people, that was really fun. So there was another one. Like I've told this story like a couple of times. Probably not on this podcast though. But I went to see Milky the day after like she got Bunshun.
Okay. Did it have like a camera and like 500 security guards?
They didn't have that, but they had like OJS and something guarding her.
No, yeah.
So she was like really, really desperate to like hold on to her fans, I guess. I had no clue, right? Like,
I'm not a fan.
No, I mean whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I have one ticket for Milky, so I went to her and was like, "Oh, hey, this is my first time." And she says in like the weirdest voice, like really, really like. The only way I could describe it was like sultry. It's like, hajimete no milky desu ka? It's like, is this your first Milky? It's like, yeah. And then she mimed like an air kiss. So she was holding my hands. She was holding my hands, right? And then she did an air kiss. It's like, like that. So they like close her eyes and then like just mimed kissing.
Yeah, that's really awkward.
And
well, one, I think it's awkward for her doing it, and then two, it's more awkward for me seeing you try to do it.
See, this is why we shouldn't have videos. But
that's why it should be.
No, but it was. I was actually like really taken aback. So, and then until they kicked me out of the lane, like I didn't say anything anymore.
I had to meet with Milky before too. I think my first time visit, which actually ironically was the first time I had an encounter with Andy, but that's another story.
Did he give you the air kiss too?
Yeah, he gave me the air kiss from behind.
Mr. A. Lee.
Mr. A. Lee, yeah. But I was like, I saw Milky first time. I didn't even say it. I was like, oh, hey, I'm from America. And she's like, oh, I love you. Because what she always does is the foreigner. She always says, I love you in English. And then she's like, oh, yeah, very pretty eyes. And just stared at my eyes. We just had like a staring contest. Didn't say anything until I got kicked out.
What was like great, like awful, great/awful about Milky was that she would just do her own thing, right?
Yeah,
like,
she'd waste your time.
Yeah, she doesn't care. But it's not like the Paruru waste of time where, you know, you get what you pay for kind of waste of time. It's like Milky.
Oh, you also get what you pay for with Milky too.
Yeah, with interest. But you will always get like a good experience with Milky, but it's probably not what you were expecting. Probably, right? She's always good, but it's never like so. Like for example, I would say like for example with Sayaka, I think like how like she's like the perfect idol in the sense that how you would imagine it would go is probably exactly how it goes.
Yep. Right.
The thing is like people always get disappointed when going with idols. Oh, do you remember me? Like, because you went to see her, like, 3 years ago or something.
Yeah.
That's... Hey, shut up.
I don't think that was an intentional,
it was supposed to be a joke, all right? I didn't really mean it.
But, like, so the thing with Sayaka is that it's always, like, how you expect it to go will probably be how it goes. Because she's, like, so good at, like, figuring out, like, what you want, basically.
She's quick on her feet.
Yeah,
she can think about anything.
Very good at that. But like Milky is the other way, where you get a really good experience, but it's probably not what you were expecting.
Yeah,
because she will do what she wants. Like she would like. I think Miru has like the same tendency, although Miru is very one note, because she just tries to
fish
you basically. Yeah. Tries to turn you on, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Milky doesn't, like, do it. I mean, she does it on purpose, but she doesn't do it all the time. It's
unintentional fishing.
Yeah, she doesn't do it all the time. So, like, for example, Miru does the, like, oh, if you have a beard, she's going to touch the beard. Or if you have a tummy, she's going to...
Muscle,
like, yeah, muscles or tummy, whatever. Like, you talk to everybody, like, you realize that Miru does that to everyone.
She's very touchy-feely.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people like that, whatever. But...
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh my god! But the thing with Milky is that
you don't have any muscle.
Well, not where she can touch.
Oh.
Your face, Joe. He's like, what?
Man,
I'm trying to like imagine how you work out those muscles or train them. Because the normal method only gives you good forearms. Anyway.
Oh, different muscle.
Okay,
anyway.
so, anyways.
It's not the glutes, is it?
No,
it's not the glutes.
Stop that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, like, Milky's gone now, so no one can get that experience anymore. But, you know, go to Miru.
You can get budget Milky from Miru.
Ooh, there's a budget Milky in D3. It's like, this is less than 100 yen Milky, though. This is like Umaimbo Milky.
Okay.
The Daiso Milky.
Yeah, the Daiso Milky. It's like a 3-for-1. Anyways, that's horrible.
Is it like those like slightly premium Daiso products where they're 300 yen to 100 yen?
No.
It's
the one that you get like 10 pieces per 100 yen.
Okay.
Nah.
It's funny because I remember my friends used to refer to Akarin as budget Milky too because she used to be like a Fisher type, but now she's
gone the other way.
She's a gold digger.
Basically.
Yeah.
Oh man,
using the gold to pay for like her female fans.
Oh man, it's like speaking of Akarin. So I was talking about this the other day when I noticed that she was. So they had to announce like their promises for winning the Senkyo, for getting their goals in the Senkyo, right? It's hard to say what Koyaku is. It's like promise, like it's a manifesto basically. It's a similar something like a political, whatever. So if she gets like 7,
it's the resolution of the if statement in computer code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's the one after the equal sign.
Yeah. Got it.
So she was saying that so if she got 7th place, she would like have a Joshiryoku Joshiryoku theater show. And then she tweeted that, right? So I don't know what tweets she got like after what replies she got, but then she suddenly tweeted like 3 times after that, explaining. She's like, "Oh no, this time like men can get in," and it's because like, "Oh, come on guys, I wasn't the one who decided that like quintet was girls only. It's like now I'm gonna like, make you guys happy because you're gonna get into this show." It's like, so I was telling you guys, like, I thought it was like completely pointless. Like, why does she need to explain it?
Gotta keep those sugar daddies on the hook.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Because it's Senkyo time, and she's worried about like these like old men who spend a lot of money.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with handshakes.
Yeah.
Just aside.
Yeah. Well, now what do you got for us?
If we're gonna go back to like what would like make you want to go see a member or not see a member, I guess like on the plus side, it'd be like more like the personality chemistry. Like when we talk to each other, is there like something there? Do we connect like on the top topics? Are they interesting? Do they want to talk to me? Do I want to talk to them? That's usually what will keep me going back and back again. Basically, if I get good service, good kamitayo.
Good service.
Yeah. Or like, we had good service, and also like I want to. I still have like unfinished business with them. I want to like still talk about some other things. Maybe a month, 2 months from now. So that's what I do.
Good service, but no happy ending.
Yeah. I got. It's delayed. It's prolonged.
Bad timing.
Yeah. Bad timing. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Examples. We want examples. We want concrete stories.
So I guess with like Nozawa Reina, so not AKB, not NMB, but AKB. So I only saw her once, and I guess she went to study in LA last summer. So I went to talk to her a long time ago anyway because she speaks English. So I was like, I heard you were in LA. How was that? What did you like the best? And I think she said like Disneyland was her favorite part about being in LA or being in California. And then I was like, she asked me about myself. Where are you from Japan, or do you live in Japan? I'm not from Japan, obviously not.
You never know nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. And basically it's had all these stories like, I've been here for 6 years. I travel from Tochigi every day to come to these events. It's like, wow. Like, I hope you come back because I want to hear more of your stories. Like, I'm like this like mass wealth of being a nerd in Japan stories that she's interested in hearing. So that's cool. But like with Anshu, I'll go back to her every time like a new game comes out. I'll ask her about, are you playing this? Are you playing this? And she's like, no, because I suck at this game. I can't play this game. That's
Yeah, she faked us out with Monster Hunter.
Yeah, the old bait and switch.
Yeah,
she like gave up on it.
Oh, I have a story about Nozawa Reina. It's a very short story.
Okay.
So during the photo event, I was sitting down at like outside 7-Eleven, just taking a break. So I was with French Joe. So we were chatting in English, right? And then like this old guy just walks up to us and says like, I'm collecting Nozawa Reina like birthday messages. So could you write some? And it's just like, okay. It's like usually like these guys just like stand and like, oh, do you want to write birthday messages for the girls, right? Usually you would have to go to them to get the piece of paper to write the message.
Yeah.
This guy just like randomly goes to like the break area and then like walks up to like these guys and then gives the piece of paper. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. And he was saying like, oh, she's like this. The thing is like he assumed like we knew who she was. Like I guess we knew who she was, right, in general. But he was like, oh, she's like team. There's like this new Cohen, and then she's working hard. It's like I didn't even know she was Team K.
She was 4. I think after the shuffle, she got moved.
Yeah.
To K.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay. So what's funny is that Joe started writing in Japanese. He was like, he wrote. He just wrote her name first, like Rena in hiragana, and then the guy was like, oh, could you write it in English?
Dang. Doesn't want your Japanese. Get out of here.
No, it's because clearly, because he was saying that she was from overseas, right? He said like Kikoku Shijo or something. So how do you say it? Comeback? The comeback girls.
Returnee.
Yeah. So I actually started writing in English because I figured out that like clearly the only reason he would walk up to like two foreigners speaking in English is because he wanted like cards signed in English.
Yeah. Was he speaking to you guys in English, or was
he was speaking in Japanese. That's why Joe started writing in Japanese.
Yeah, I've done that too. Probably. Actually, if I knew I would learn English, but
I would always write these cards in English because that's a good way to stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they also don't understand what you're saying.
Yes.
At the same time, they're not going to read what you wrote anyway.
Happy birthday, you suck, or something like that. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. That's mean. Actually, I had to write one yesterday for his other event, but I wrote like half English. I wrote happy birthday in English and happy birthday in Japanese.
That's okay. We're not interested in it.
It was Tanjobi Ometo. That's true.
Write it in katakana, like, Tanjobi omedetou gozaimasu. You saku.
Huh? Yeah. As for like things like that would like turn me off from a member, like I wouldn't want to go see him again or stop going to see him. Usually, it's the opposite. Basically, if we didn't connect well in that conversation, didn't have any like chemistry, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I don't know how I feel about her.
Concrete examples.
Or like the Gaijin problem where like, oh man, this member's so great, I've never met her, and then I go meet her and then like it breaks my fancy. So I dealt with Kojima Haru, and this was like 2 years ago. So she's like been in it for a while, like So like I went and talked to her and she like, had like no energy, no light in her eyes. Basically, I was talking to like the reanimated corpse of Kojima Haru, and I'm like, I don't really, I guess because she's like over it. I guess maybe I saw her like 5 years earlier. Maybe she'd been better, but who knows?
That was actually a monster in Dragon Quest. Reanimated corpse.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't play that DLC.
DLC.
Yeah, and also it's boring, which I guess that's how I describe Yui Han.
Ooh.
Sorry, Jeff.
That's okay. He's Oshihen.
Oshihen the Mocha.
We give him shit for that.
Yeah.
It's a cup of coffee.
And then also I guess out of things to talk about, like don't know. I asked all my general things I asked with members, nothing interesting I want to talk to them about, or like like with Miru, like she's too one note, so like I can only handle that so much, before I get bored of it. So I don't go see Miru all that often. I saw her like a lot last year. I mean, it was fun, but it's like I was like times I'm dreading going to go see her. That's usually a sign when like you should probably just stop seeing a member. Like when you're dreading, oh crap, she's coming up. I don't want to talk to her. I don't know what to say.
That's why they invented Oshimashi, man.
Yeah, that's why they invented Oshimashi.
Yeah. But
yeah. And then
I was gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the last thing is like also like the schedule doesn't line up. Like I've been wanting to go back and see Nozawa Reina, but like she only has like slot 1. So I'm like, I don't want to get up that early to go talk to Nozawa Reina. Sayaka would do that, but not Nozawa Reina. So.
Oh yeah, so that's the thing too, right? So when people, we never talked about like the slots thing. So when guys listening to this, like all 5 of you,
or girls,
yeah, of course. When you buy,
all half of you. maybe you're one of those androgynous fools.
Yeah.
No, but like when you buy tickets, please make sure that like the slots line up. Like so, what Matt was saying is that slot 1 is 9 a.m. for AKB. That's really
9 a.m.
really early,
yeah, and then
right? So and like you're gonna go, oh, that's it's until 10:30, so I'll just like walk in at 10:30. Yeah, plenty of time. I'll walk in at 10:30, and then you can't walk in at 10:30 because
they close it a half hour early. They close it at 10 o'clock.
So it's 10 a.m. Like
security checks.
Yeah, security checks, and then the lines. So that's one thing.
But also, slot 1 is also kind of like it's so early, no one wants to go there. So actually, you do have a chance at least. If you have like 4 members prepared, and they're not all like top tier members, you do have a chance of probably actually going to see all of them if you come there right at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Got all my 8 Joe tickets for slot 1. Ugh,
yeah, so
terrible.
You'll make it. You might be able to loop her multiple times.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? So when you buy, actually, this is actually even on the Kareani website. They even say
it tells you like don't get like Yukideen,
Mayu,
Jurina, and Meter all in one slot because you're probably not going to get to see all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And there's no refund. Well, there's no refunds if you just miss them and you don't use a ticket.
Yeah.
Unless
you
they're
do something
sick.
stupid, like forget your tickets like back at home.
On your ferry ride, an airplane ride away.
or if you're just talking to like this guy named like Mr. Ailey and you forgot what time your slot started.
That do.
No, but yeah, so like there's a tendency for people to like, oh, I want to get for this girl, I want to get for this girl, I'm gonna go from AKB to
It's
NMB.
a buffet, like I said.
Yeah, it's a buffet, right? I'm gonna get like the steak and the salad.
The other steak.
Yeah, the other steak.
Yeah, steak.
But the other
Hit
steak is
the
like
lobster.
5-minute walk on the other side.
You had to exercise for that.
Yeah.
And there's a line, and then they stop serving steak. Like, after 2 p.m.
Yeah.
They replace it with ham.
And there's like 100 people in line because like one of your steaks is sayaka.
And your steaks is Kobe beef.
Yeah. So yeah, always be mindful of the slots. Like, it's fine. You have a lot of money, but like.
And it's it used to be like the 100 yen challenge, like the really unpopular members. Like you used to be able to do like 4 of those in one slot, but when they started adding all like the 2 shots and the other games and stuff, that adds more time. So actually now that's not even feasible anymore.
The Daiso challenge.
Yeah, Daiso challenge, yeah.
Okay. Just really quick, I was gonna add in my stories. Like there are like girls that like I've met and I've used a lot of tickets on, and it's been like really lame. Big example would be like Uka. Like I feel like talking to her, like I feel like I'm talking to a kid. I was just like, I don't want that. I've had
I do that for a living already.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah. You know, I do.
I talk to adults that make really interesting comments, and also old people that I can't understand. The other thing, I had all of 5th Gen when they had the 5th Gen line. That was really interesting because you could because you got like 10 at once or something, right? And so but you could kind of gauge them, but you kind of can't.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, like I could tell like there were girls that were like good, but like I didn't want it. Like their style, right? Like Ray-chan is like really good at fishing, right? She like hold your hand, she like kind of like
squeeze it tightly.
Yeah.
She like looks like right into your eyes.
Does a double hand.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know what this is.
The double hand. They do like the
Oh, you mean like I don't know.
They do the grapples, yeah.
That was, but it looks like you're grabbing someone's boobs. So she was really good, but like that's not my style, right? Like I like saying stupid stuff and then like laughing about it.
To yourself.
So like it's also interesting because like from that I liked Rikati, right? But then I went to see Rikati like on my own, and I was like, oh, this is kind of, I don't know. And I was like, oh, you're that crazy girl, right? Like I say that in English. She's like, yeah, it's me, it's crazy. And then she's like started bitching about something, and I don't remember what it was. Like, this is not really crazy. This is not the crazy I remember.
It's crazy bitch.
Well, like when like me and Andy or Mr. A. Lee or Andy L. when we went to see her, like she was funny because like she's like, oh yeah, like I'm totally crazy, like yeah. And she's like tried to talk to us in English, and then like she even left a comment on her blog. It's like, oh, these people from overseas even came to see me. It's like yeah, we were from overseas. That's right. We don't live in Japan at all.
Oh yeah, getting that watashi kanji.
Yeah. So like sometimes like you think you have something and then you go again, and then like as a regular it's not as cool.
The novelty wore off.
Yeah, even stuff that's weird like Kokona, right? Like Kokona, like it's funny. It's like watching like the scared little child. But like I'd go up to her and then she'd be like, "Oh, it's you again." I was like, "Oh yeah, like, you still remember me." I don't know why. I'm like totally. What's the word?
Traumatized her.
Not conspicuous. I didn't traumatize her at all. It was all Mr. Andy L. So like sometimes you get stuff, and sometimes like people grow. Just depends on how much they catch your interest. Let's see. I think that's it. But like as far as like people who I've seen and like wanted to go see, I think it's only been like Joe and Anshu too. But Anshu's like a special case because before like I saw
special.
Not special as in special education, not that kind of special. But before I saw her with Andy, like she was just like regular or whatever, right? But then like after I saw her with Andy, that one day, like after the Sosenkyo, like she was like super hype and it was like really funny, and like you kind of get like a feel like what she wants to do or like what like entertains her. So like After that, like, is cool, right? Like, but even then, I'd only get like 1 or 2 tickets. Like, any more than that, like, I don't want to have like a real conversation. I don't want to talk about like my favorite restaurant with her.
No real talk.
It's like, what's your favorite food to order at the Monster Hunter restaurant?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I gotta get the meat set or whatever.
Gotta spin the meat.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. And what else is there? I think that's it. And then just Joe, because the first time I met Joe, like, there was like no one in her line, and she's like, I don't know, I thought she was really funny. And like, she's like, oh, you're gonna see me again, right? And like, there's like I had a bunch of like Tojitsuken. I was like, yeah, sure, why not, right? So like, I just like loop around. I was like the only one in line. It's like, hey, nice to see you again. It's like, oh, dude, it's only been like 10 seconds. And, you know, stupid, funny stuff like that.
That's always a good joke. Yeah, like, Hisashiburi, and I was like, I just saw you. Like, yeah.
So I think that's what drew me to Joe, like, initially. And then I forgot why, like, I forgot what happened, like, the second time I met her. I think she's, like, the only one who, like, would actually respond to, like, my dumb stuff. My dumb comments that I always make. Yeah, I think that's it.
What makes you go and see a member, like, initially? Like, what catches your interest?
I think it's probably, like, stuff that happens, like, outside. So, like, I used to watch a lot of stages. It actually kind of comes and goes, like, when I really get into stages. Right now, I don't even have wired internet, so it's kind of a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, sometimes they'll, like, say stuff, and, you know, I'll watch the stage, I'll be like, oh, this person, like, might seem like they're interesting to talk to. Or, like, they, you know, based on their relationship with everybody else. But that's not necessarily what you get, like, when you go to them, right? So, like, that's how you, like, find out. You're like, oh, yeah, this person, like, seems to get along well with this other member. So, like, maybe if I talk to her, I'll get along with her as well as that member.
Yeah. It's like, a lot of word of mouth. You know, you hear so much about this member. This member's crazy. You gotta go see her. So it's like, or like, you know, in Yuri's case, that's the only reason I went to go see her, because word of mouth from Ryan. That's all he talks about.
It's funny because he always talks about how great she is, but I never hear what makes her great.
I'm not good at like describing stuff like that, so it's up to you.
It's like, oh, you gotta see Yuri because she's the best. Oh, why is she the best?
Because I said so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, right? I never really know what makes her good. And like, the more you say that, the more I look at her, it's like I think she's really boring now.
Like, I mean, I've gone to her, and I would put her in the boring camp along with Yuri. So, and it's more like, she's not bad, but she's just not good. You know, it's very, you know, mediocre. Like, she'd be like a 7 out of 10 game for Blockbuster or something.
A 7 out of 10 game for Blockbuster?
Yeah, I could rent it. Rental idol.
I'm just laughing at the Blockbuster reference. Like, not even Netflix, like Blockbuster.
Because is Netflix going to rent stuff now? Still? They still do DVDs?
I think they spun it off and then it failed. And then they just
yeah, it was like Flickster, I think, was like the DVD version, and then Netflix remained as streaming.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess for me, word of mouth, and then also just like, oh, I saw him do something online or on Bingo, you know, AK Bingo or whatever.
The most important TV show in the history of humanity.
Yeah. Yep.
Also one of the
like,
tests required for Japanese proficiency.
Yeah.
N1, N2, N3, N4, N5, Bingo.
AK Bingo. Well, that makes it the lowest.
Is it? Oh, no.
It was actually higher than N1.
It's like I failed my N3, but I can watch Bingo, so that clearly means that like there's something.
I'm basically
wrong with
native speaker.
Yeah, basically native. Yeah.
But yeah, like Anchu, like I didn't see her because of you guys' crazy stories. Like even like the fact that there's a coincidence that Andy organized the Gaijin train, and I became interested in Anchu. Because like I became interested because of Dragon Quest. She did that first Dragon Quest stream.
It wasn't because of Matcha Cookie?
What? No.
You don't know Matcha Cookie?
She wasn't on my radar at all until I saw that.
So you didn't know about the Matcha Cookie thing?
No, I didn't know who Anchu was. She wasn't a person.
Oh my god!
Until Dragon Quest.
Oh. She got like really like well known.
I think that's the thing, right? Like Renbon, like it kind of works. Like, hey, you should see like this girl with me. It's like, okay, yeah, let's go. So let's go to the buffet together. let's both get the couscous, right? And then then you realize you're interested in couscous. You know, you never tried couscous before. And now it's interesting.
And sometimes it goes bad. Sometimes it goes bad too. Like Nicole. Yeah. You can set him up. I guess whenever I go with Ryan to Rinbong, that's the only way I can really do Yuri is if I Rinbong him because he'll like introduce or set her up for me or something.
Yeah, give you the alley-oop. Same thing happened with me and Mr. A. Lee, right? He's like, oh yeah, we should go Renbon some chicks. So I was like, all right, sure. So one of them was like Saipi, right? And then like, I think I had like 2 tickets, and he had like 30. And it's just like, what? How does this even make sense? And be like, hey, I honestly don't remember. I remember she's like really. What's up?
No, I was saying the Renban can go wrong too.
Yeah, well, I just remember she was really chill. I remember that, and that was it. Well, I don't remember like much after that. Like if she had like a really like cool attitude, which sounds like the kind of person that like Andy A. Lee would like, and yeah. But for me, like with only 2 tickets, it's like if it like he liked her because of the the fact that she can like be chill and like chat about like anything. But I only have 2 tickets. I can't do that. So that was really weird. And then like I remember when I finished, I just like left, right? And he's like, dude, you should like hang outside so you can listen to her conversation. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do with that? That's really weird. Like, trying to like listen, like, yeah, that's okay, yeah. I don't know, man. That's weird. Like eavesdropping.
You should have gone second.
Sometimes Ailey will leech off of that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, cause I asked Miru like the dumb question, like, would you rather be chased by 12 duck-sized horses or a horse-sized duck? And she's like, I'd rather be chased by the horse because I hate ducks, I hate birds. And then Andy, like, he was after me, and he's like, oh, really? I didn't know you hate birds. And then, like, this all the same day, like, there's like a crow or a pigeon or something that was flying around in Makahari. You remember that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there was like some giant-ass bird, like, flying around up in the rafters of the thing.
Did that freak her out?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Renbon is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
To like meet somebody. But what's weird is that like I would never like if somebody's like, yo dude, like I want to see Joe, like we should Renbon. I was like, dude, I don't know. I'm like totally useless. I don't know what I would say.
Renbon is nice, especially if like, for example, like you go like if you go with me to like Yuri, for example, like as Matt said, right? I can
a veteran, yeah.
I could like introduce you. Like so that you could so you don't need the like setup anymore. So I will tell her, like, for example, I told her that. Wait, did I tell her or someone else? I think it was Lulu.
I think I was with you. And I told her. I think also with Craig is like, oh yeah, thank you for dinner, and just go out. And then he was like,
oh, what was that?
How many people did you buy dinner for? I think that was like her actual quote.
Yeah. That was when you went to her, because that was like You were the third.
A few months later.
You were the third person to tell her that. Like it was Andy,
like
and then Craig, and then you. And then she was like, "Yeah. So how many people did you buy dinner for?"
Okay, I think we should wrap it up. You guys, any final comments? Any handshake lore?
The lore, yeah.
The lore.
I got my tomb here. I'm gonna show you guys.
No, I mean like handshakes are like the most like it's what makes AK like these idols, right? It's the main thing. So we always recommend to go to events, and this is like one of the biggest ones that you can go to, and the easiest ones actually. You just have to know how to buy them, but just be realistic about like your expectations, and I think like anyone can have fun with these events. Like I don't think anyone will ever like regret going to one.
Yeah, so hopefully, like, after listening to this, maybe you have, like, an idea of, like, what you want to do, or, like, you're aware of, like, the different options you have. If you want to change the subject, or, like, maybe you want to loop instead of, like, do this. Sometimes you don't click. Sometimes, like, maybe you can ask, like, one of us, like, hey, I want to see this girl. We should go together. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, let's both get the couscous. I don't know what it is with couscous in restaurants today. But, yeah. Hopefully you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them on YouTube or even on our podcast feed, or ask us on Twitter. We appreciate anything. We'll probably respond to them on the air if you guys leave something, and if it's tasteful.
Tell us about your favorite restaurants.
Yeah. Not like we're tasteful at all. Maybe your favorite restaurants aren't tasteful. Oof. Okay, so that's it. This is the end of Takoyaki Party, episode number 36. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and take care.
Peace.